It's short-term good and long-term bad is what it is. Short-term, it got rid of a lot of the stupid portions of the illegal net neutrality imposition, but long-term opened the door wide open to the FCC deciding, oh, I can regulate this, I can regulate that. So the ruling based on the two Clinton appointees is bad news long-term for people who want to continue to enjoy a free speech, free market Xanadu internet. It opens up the whole panoply of regulatory superstructure that has made the landline phone line the bastion of innovation for the last 70 years. I think the one innovation was we don't have rotary anymore. I think that was the big innovation under Title II. So what you're doing is you're dropping a big regulatory, huge set of anvils on the internet and saying, okay, go innovate now. Go develop now. Go, if they unload this superstructure, regulatory superstructure on it, the internet's not going to go from 60 miles an hour to 0. It's going to go from 60 to 55, 55 to 50. It's going to slowly degrade because you need a lot of investment just to maintain the existing status quo. The left wants to pretend that some very basic economic principles that apply everywhere else in the economy don't apply to the internet. And people won't invest money into scenarios where reality is under assault. So that's long-term. If you reclassify so as to then impose net neutrality will be a dampener on adoption and investment, and the entirety of the regulatory superstructure that will be imposed will be a dampener on adoption and investment. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Wheeler's been very tough to read. Gigi Sohn wrote in 2010, the middle of August of 2010, as the president of Public Knowledge, one of the media Marxist outfits, yes, we should absolutely reclassify and they should go there right now. Well, she's no longer president of Public Knowledge, the left-wing media Marxist outfit. She's working at the FCC. So to quote Ronald Reagan, personnel is policy, so I worry that you don't hire somebody with that kind of perspective who basically has worked in that corner of what the FCC does basically all her professional life. You don't hire someone like that unless you may be anticipating going where she's been proselytizing that the FCC should go. Did you see the press release from Chairman Wheeler after the State of the Union? It didn't look like a very independent agency to me. If we were police detectives, this would all be circumstantial evidence. We have that press release. We've got Gigi Sohn, who wanted to reclassify the internet in 2010 as president of Public Knowledge, now on Tom Wheeler's senior staff at the FCC. You've got the open order that still exists to reclassify the internet. It hasn't been closed. The book's not closed. It's still open at the FCC. Combine all of that with the open door the two Clinton appointees at the DC Circuit swung open. It's looking like all the different divisions are lining up around to lay siege to the internet and eventually hold out and reclassify it, by conquer it and reclassify it. And the last thing we need is a government agency conquering and taking over a beautiful free speech, free market Xanadu that is the internet and what it's becoming and what it's become and what it's becoming. I always say this is a free speech, free market Xanadu, the internet, because where is every form of speech headed? In 10 years, when you get in your car, it's not going to be a over-the-air broadcast radio in your dashboard. It's going to be an internet radio in your dashboard. News is increasingly being created exclusively for the internet, whether it's video, whether it's audio. Talk radio is happening all over the place just for the internet, or whether it's print. On Dead Tree publications are dying. It's all going to the web. So the internet is the net neutrality, reclassification is your one-stop censorship shop because it covers video, audio, and every version of free speech, every format that exists for free speech. It's all going to be internet-based, so net neutrality is the catch-all. The Genesis, the Exodus, and the Deuteronomy, the Tea Party all happened on the line. Well, we gotta beat the drum as best we can in advance of any potential reclassification, so as to hopefully ward off a reclassification. We were successful in doing that in 2010, because the ramp up to the December imposition of net neutrality, there was a lot of discussion of, well, let's just reclassify the internet. And because we raised such a righteous stink about it, it didn't happen. We need to do that again. Groups on both sides of the ideological spectrum are opposed to it, yet it may very well happen. So if you want to talk about tyranny and the force of will of the tyranny of the minority over the majority, it doesn't get much more slivered in favor and wide in scope in opposition, and we may still get it. So we got to pull everybody together and say, this shouldn't happen.